Hey guys, I'm Elena. I'm 19 years old. This is my coming out video. So basically, I'm gonna start from the very beginning. In like 3rd grade, my first memory of me possibly questioning my sexuality was looking through my yearbook to choose which boy I would pretend to have a crush on. In 4th grade, one of my now great friends, who is also gay, neither of us knew we were gay then. After school, he asked me to be his girlfriend. I just ran. My mom's car was there to pick me up, ran in mom's car, told her, step the fuck on the gas, get me out of here. Then my freshman year, I had a thing with a guy, and then he asked me to be his girlfriend. And when he asked me, I got that same dropping sensation in my stomach where I just knew it wasn't right. I said, I think we're better off as friends, and then got the fuck out. Common theme there. The last experience with a guy was I was at some dance, and I started grinding with a guy for like 30 seconds. Then I got this gross feeling at the pit of my stomach. It translated into feeling like I was about to puke. So I literally darted out of the gym. I didn't even know what the real meaning of gay was until I was in like 10th grade. Did not ever consider that as something I would be. I always had like a weird attachment to Ellen DeGeneres and Rachel Maddow. Even though I wouldn't let myself think about it, I knew I related to them on a different level than I related to other people. The most telling thing that made me realize that I was gay was the summer before my junior year. I would spend hours and hours watching coming out videos on YouTube. So even after I had that realization with the coming out videos, I still put it in my back pocket for a few more months. I think I really needed those last few months to kind of adjust internally and emotionally. It's a big thing to adjust to, especially when you grew up thinking that gay is something not even bad, but just so foreign and abnormal. Beginning of my junior year, it got to the point where I knew I needed to come out for me. I didn't really plan coming out the first time. I was with a friend, and I dropped her off after we hung out, and I was on my way home, called her crying and said, hey, can I come back? I need to talk to you. So I drove back to her house. She got back in the car. I was still crying, and I told her it was one of the scariest things I've ever done, because you grow up having an idea of what your life is going to be like, and then the fact that I knew mine was going to be so different was just so scary. See, it makes me emotional, but my friend was amazing. She was the greatest person I could have come out to first. So she hugged me, she told me that she loves me just the same, and so will everyone else. As I left her house and drove home, I called my sister and told her. My sister was away at school, at college at that time, and she also was just great. She said it doesn't matter to her. She could tell that I'd been getting distant lately, which I had when this feeling that I was different had kind of come to fruition. My sister was phenomenal about it. So those were the two earliest people. Then I kind of casually came out to a few of my friends. So I had like an inner circle who knew. Then my parents, which is a lot of times the scariest people to come out to. Before school, one morning, I wrote a letter because I knew if I said it in person, I wouldn't be able to get all that I wanted to out on the table. I left for school, handed this letter to my mom, and I said, hey mom, read this, as I was crying. Left, got in my car, drove off to school. I waited in anticipation all day. I was hoping my mom would text me, so at the end of the day I texted her asking if I could come home, and she said, yeah, of course. So I came home and we hugged, and she told me she loved me. We both cried, and it was very, very reassuring. She in turn told my dad, and my dad took a little more time to come around. He was never mean. I think he was just hesitant because he didn't want me to face more difficulties than I had to in my life. 3 months or 4 months later, he just did a 180 and was 100% supportive. To this day he is. He wears a gay pride pin wherever he goes. He's a part of the human rights campaign. And I'm really lucky because some people get kicked out of their house. The next step was to come out to people in general. The friends that I come out to, they knew that it was on the DL. They knew not to tell anyone yet. My family knew that too. The thing that was hardest about coming out in general was the fact that in high school I was one of those kids who's just like super involved and really good grades. I didn't want to break people's image of me. I think I was like secretary of student council at that time. I didn't want to not be able to get voted for different positions after I'd come out. So the word like slowly spread. That was the best way for me, and it worked out really well. I came out right after I'd been on homecoming court my junior year, and I kind of accepted that after that I wouldn't get nominated for anything like that anymore. Throughout high school I had always tried to be really friendly and validate people. I think that people seeing me as a person who cared for them overpowered the fact that my sexuality was different. My senior year, I was lucky enough to be senior class president and as homecoming queen with my friend who, in 4th grade, he was the one that asked me out. So we had a gay homecoming king and queen in our conservative West Michigan town. It was so fun. I did get a few hateful tweets from parents, but other than that, it was great. So after I came out, I was just so much happier. My confidence increased. My friends said like I looked more healthy physically, and I love life so much more. It was just a good thing for me overall. Obviously, this is just my story. I hope somehow it helps somebody. Obviously, if you don't think it's safe for you physically to come out, put your safety first. You're not obligated to come out. And the worst part is waiting when you're unsure, but you'll know when it's right for you. If you guys have questions, I'm no expert, but I'll try to answer any if you'd like me to in the comment section below, or yeah, I guess that's where I'll answer them. I'll put the link for the Trevor Project hotline. That's for if any of you guys are having issues with your personal safety, please reach out. There are people out here who want you to be okay and be happy. Yeah, I guess follow me on Twitter if you want. I'll put the links in the description. Yeah, thanks so much if you've stuck through all of this. Much love.
The cleaners have done their job on you. They're hip to it, man, they're in the groove.